Hello everyone, welcome to Movie Talk. Today I'm going to be talking about what I watched this month, March edition. I'm really sorry that I didn't make a video for the February month. I completely forgot to make a video, so well, I guess whatever I did, there wasn't anything major. This month we've had a really big launch in cinema in 2024. That was Dune Part 2. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was this month. I don't think it was in March. I don't think it was in February. Sorry, I think it was in March. And the rest of the month wasn't really good in the launches, but it's the beginning of the year. The launches are going to be coming more and more, and because of that, I'm taking the opportunity to watch some older movies. Older this month, I didn't really watch anything really old, but yeah, we'll talk about it. The first movie I watched was Society of the Snow. I started this month Society of the Snow. I wanted to watch this movie before, because it was in the Oscars and a lot of people were talking about it, and I wanted to watch it. I didn't because I had a trip that I had to make in February, and I am really scared of flying in planes, so I didn't want to watch this movie before the trip. So when I got back, I wanted to watch this movie, and it is very dramatic. This movie is really good. The cinematography is beautiful. I really like what they do with this movie because it feels really realistic. I don't think they wanted to tell this story for the drama. I think they wanted to make a sort of legacy, like other movies that they want to emphasize someone or some people or some situation, and here they want to make a legacy of these people that survived in the Andes in the 70s, and it's an astonishing feat. Like, these people are, well, what happened to them was awful, and they survived somehow, and this movie tells really good this story. I liked it. And then I watched Dune Part 2. I've already talked about Dune. I believe that I've made a video, so I believe that you can just go watch it. I'm just gonna say that it's my favorite movie of the year so far. It's a great movie, 10 out of 10. I absolutely loved it. Then I rewatched Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix. As I've said, it's the monthly watch of Harry Potter. This month was The Order of the Phoenix, which is one of the ones that I dislike the most. I believe that the one that I dislike the most is Chamber of the Secrets, and then there is Order of the Phoenix. I don't really like this movie. Part of it is because the new director that they've put it was David Yates. It was the first time he was in the Harry Potter franchise, and after this movie, just kept on in the franchise, unfortunately, because he's not a very good director. Making an adaptation of this book, The Order of the Phoenix, was always going to be a challenge because it's the longest book of the franchise, the Harry Potter franchise in the books. This is the longest book. It's very large, and there are a lot of stuff that is missing in the movie that I can easily understand why they cut some things, but then again, other stuff is like this is a very different book from all of the other ones. I think this is the one book that we start seeing the threat that Voldemort is, and in the book it's really well written, and the character Voldemort is really well developed. It's very explored, his ways, his personality, and all of that stuff. And I think in the movie they snub that appearance of Voldemort. I think that in the movie they focus too much on what is happening in Hogwarts with Dolores Umbridge and everything of that. And I think that's a poor decision because after the first two movies, well, three movies, three books, after Prisoner of Azkaban, we start seeing the dangers of Voldemort and the Death Eaters and everything like that. And I think that in this movie you don't feel urgent to, I don't know, stop Voldemort. I think it's just it's not very well made, this movie compared to the book and as an adaptation. And then just as a movie, like the director isn't that great. It doesn't it he doesn't make a great job. Then I watched Damsel. Damsel was the new Millie Bobby Brown movie, and I'm a really big fan of her. Of course, Stranger Things is my favorite TV show, my favorite series. Absolutely love Stranger Things, and it was because of Stranger Things that I know Millie Bobby Brown, and she's a really good actress. I don't know why people discredit her. Like in the Stranger Things season 4, I think people just got really excited because of Sadie Sink, because she delivered really well, but Millie Bobby Brown is also delivering really, really well, and she's a great actress. And I believe that this movie was created just based on the fact that she is in the movie. And of course, there is other people like Angela Bassett here, but she is the star. Millie Bobby Brown is the star. Saying this, it's not a great film. I was expecting so much. I was expecting this to be a so much worse movie. I was thinking this was going to be a really bad one, and then it got surprisingly interesting. And the movie is not bad. I was thinking this was going to be just one of those movies that Millie Bobby Brown likes to be in, about feminism and women empowerment. And don't get me wrong, of course, these symbolisms are still in this movie, and I have no problem with it. I just think that the other movies don't develop a story particularly, and this movie does. What I think this movie makes different is it does bring us an adventure. It does bring us a story. It's a fun movie. Of course, it's not a great one, but I think you can have some fun. And I think that Millie Bobby Brown and especially the cinematographer, when I was watching this movie, I was seeing the cinematography and I was like, man, this is so weird. This looks like it's a real professional cinematography, and it definitely is. When I finished watching the movie, I went to see who the cinematographer was, and the cinematographer was Larry Fong, which is the cinematographer of Now You See Me, Batman vs Superman, Watchmen, Kong Skull Island, Super 8, 300, Predator, the remake. And yeah, then I understood that yeah, it definitely was a professional cinematography. It was one that made a lot of movies. I was gonna say great movies, but not so much. But yeah, I mean, it's not a bad movie. You can definitely have fun with it, but it's not the best thing I've seen. Then I watched Blade Runner. So this was a time where after I watched Dune Part 2, I realized that I needed to watch more Denis Villeneuve movies, and one of the movies I most wanted to watch was Blade Runner 2049. But I wanted to watch first the first movie, the original Blade Runner, which is a classic of sci-fi, and a lot of people say it's the best sci-fi movie of all time. A lot of people say it's a 10 out of 10, and unfortunately for me, I didn't pick up that vibe. I know that this movie has a lot of versions: the director's cut, the cinema's cut, the Chinese cut, or something like that. I know that there are a lot of versions, and but I think I picked the one that people say it's the best, and I just didn't get why people like this so much. I mean, it's a product of that era. This movie was released in 1982, and I believe that nowadays this movie doesn't work as goodly as it did in the previous years. And I just didn't see anything to be particularly um no, it's not interested, but it's not interested in the word that I want to use, but it's not particularly great, the movie. Then I watched Arrival. Yes, I know that I said that I wanted to watch Blade Runner so that I could watch Blade Runner 2049, but then I remembered that I had already watched Arrival um, before, but I didn't really remember the movie, so I wanted to watch Arrival because I remember that I really liked it, and I know that it's one of the best of Denis Villeneuve, and it absolutely is. I watched that movie and absolutely loved it. I don't. The only thing that it makes me not give a 10 out of 10 to that movie is that it's a really well written story. It's a really well made movie. Cinematography, beautiful direction, amazing, really great performances. The only thing that don't like is that the world building around the alien ships is very poorly done in the way that it doesn't seem like it's affecting the world that much. It's an intimate story about our protagonist that I forgot the name, sorry, but it's the intimate story between her life, and the aliens, apparently. But all the rest of the world doesn't seem to get really affected by the alien ships. Of course, we have those news channels and those reports in the news, in the television. But any other than that, it doesn't really seem that the aliens are affecting much the world. So yeah. Then I watched Blade Runner 2049. Finally, I wanted to say that I've heard a lot about the two Blade Runners, and they're not bad movies in any way of the word. But the only one thing that I want to say, and I want people to understand, is I don't think they are as good as people talk about them. I believe I like them. I like these two movies. I believe they are good movies, but I don't think that they are this amazing thing that everyone is saying. And I'm gonna get polemical now, and I wanna say which one of these two is my favorite. I know this is a really big talking point, and I have to say that I liked more the Denis Villeneuve version, the Blade Runner 2049. Then I watched The Cabin in the Woods. And going from a controversial and not so mainstreaming movie, we go to The Cabin in the Woods, that is an absolute masterpiece. I absolutely loved this movie. I already knew all about it. I've watched as many spoilers as one can get, and unfortunately, I already knew all of the plot. But still, it's a very fun movie. It's really cool, the ideas that they bring into the world. I absolutely adore this movie. It's a complete comedic movie, in all of the good ways. The only thing that is missing in this movie is that Sigourney Weaver is there doing absolutely nothing. She appears for 2 minutes of the movie, and it's Sigourney Weaver. Like, she is a really great actress, and she's a really big actress. Big when I say that she is very popular. But yeah, it's an amazing movie. It's really fun. Then I watched La La Land. Why? I don't really know why, but I think I was just in a vibe to watch Ryan Gosling this month. You're gonna see later to this video that some reason I wanted to watch Ryan Gosling, but I have heard a lot about La La Land, and I had never watched this movie. And Damien Chazelle is one of the filmmakers nowadays that people really like. I wasn't the biggest fan of Whiplash, as I've mentioned in this channel. I didn't really enjoy Whiplash as much as people did. It didn't connect to me as much. But La La Land, for the other part, it's an amazing movie. I really liked watching La La Land. Romantic comedies and musicals are not my favorite genre of any kind. I really don't like musicals. If you've accompanied me throughout my channel, you know that I do not like musicals. But for some reason, I just loved watching La La Land. Even though it's a musical, I think that it was really well inserted, the musics, and everything in this movie is really good. I loved the writing, I loved the direction. Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling, of course, these two actors are absolutely amazing, and I've gotten no any other thing to say. The ending is really powerful. I loved La La Land. It's really great. Then I watched Sinister. I don't know why I watched Sinister. I think I was just in thirst for some horror movie. I haven't watched much horror movies uh, lately, so I was just a little bit desperate to watch a horror movie, and this one is a movie that I've heard people talk about, of course, and people say it's not uh, amazing, but people like this movie, so I want to watch to see what was all the fuss about. Well, not all the fuss. Like there is absolutely no one saying this is a perfect movie, one of the greatest of all time, but people say they like it. And I mean, it's just a bit generic, not gonna lie. It's a weird movie. But it's not bad. I like the investigation. The horror is definitely not the best thing of the movie, but it's not the worst, definitely. I think it's just a fine movie. I enjoyed watching some parts of it. I like the ideas that they bring into this movie, but any other than that, I think it's just okay. Then I finished the month with the Crazy Stupid Love. As I've said before, it was a rewatch. I watched this again with my girlfriend. It's a really great movie. Absolutely I like this movie a lot. As I said, I'm not the type of guy that likes romantic comedies, but this one is definitely a one to remember because the cast is just full. Julianne Moore, Steve Carell, Ryan Gosling, Kevin Bacon, Emma Stone. Like the cast is just amazing actors, and I like the movie. It's very fun. It has that plot twist in the end that end is one of the best things cinema has ever produced. Like it's really fun. It's a really fun movie, and yeah, I really like it. So that's it, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Go watch these movies and form your own opinion, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.